There's something different about a Sigma male. It's not just how he moves. It's how he doesn't move when others expect him to. He doesn't argue, doesn't react, and doesn't explain. Some say he's distant. Others think he's cold. But in truth, he just doesn't care about the same things most people do. Sigma males live by their own rules. They're not trying to impress. They're not trying to fit in. And they don't waste time chasing attention. When they walk into a room, they don't need the spotlight. And when people talk behind their back, they don't feel the need to defend themselves. That kind of detachment can confuse others. It's not fake. It's not a game. It's real. And it's built from years of choosing peace over drama, purpose over popularity, and control over chaos. Sigma males don't want to fight, they want freedom. And that freedom starts by not caring about the things that slow others down. This doesn't mean they don't feel. Sigma males are still human. They care deeply about a few people and a few things. But the rest? They don't let it in. They know how to shut the door, stay silent, and protect their mental space. And when they're done for good. So how can you tell a Sigma male truly doesn't care? Not pretending. Not holding back. But actually doesn't care. It's in the way he behaves. The way he handles pressure, attention, and conflict. He doesn't shout. He doesn't post. He just moves differently. And that movement says everything. In this video, we'll break down 6 clear ways Sigma males prove they truly don't care. These actions aren't about revenge or proving a point. They're quiet choices, firm signs that a Sigma male has checked out, moved on, or simply doesn't see value in reacting. And if you've ever met someone who keeps their peace no matter what's going on around them, you might have just met a Sigma male. Because while others fight to be seen, Sigma males are watching quietly, deciding if it's even worth their energy. Let's begin. Way number 1. No reactions to drama. When things get loud, messy, and full of tension, most people respond fast. They defend themselves. They argue. They try to set the record straight. But not Sigma males. They don't jump into drama. They stay still. And that silence is their answer. It's not because they're scared. It's because they've already done the math. Drama costs energy. It invites noise. It drags you into circles. Sigma males don't see the point. If someone is trying to get a rise out of them, they give nothing. Not a word. Not a look. Just peace. And that peace makes people uncomfortable. Because most people expect reactions. They expect anger, defense, or at least some kind of emotional response. When the Sigma male gives none, the situation starts to fall apart, because drama can't survive without attention. This isn't about being passive. It's about having control. Sigma males choose when and where to use their energy. And if a situation smells like chaos, they're already out. Not with a shout, but with silence. That silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. Even in heated situations, the Sigma male doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to prove he's right. He just listens, watches, and decides if the conversation is worth staying in. And most of the time, it's not. They also understand that reacting gives the other person power. If someone insults them and they respond, they've just played into that person's hand. So instead they give no power, no reaction, no satisfaction. People often mistake this for weakness, but it's actually strength. Because it takes discipline to stay calm while being attacked. It takes strength to walk away from nonsense without needing the last word. Sigma males also know that drama often exposes itself. They don't need to fight it. They just need to give it space. And in time, the truth shows itself. Meanwhile, they've moved on, free and untouched. This kind of behavior isn't easy for most. But for Sigma males, it's natural. They've trained themselves to spot drama early. And once they see it, they exit. Quietly. Quickly. Fully. That's one of the clearest ways they prove they truly don't care. If you expect a fight, you won't get one. If you want a debate, you'll get silence. And if you need attention, they won't give it. They don't care to feed the noise. They care about peace. And peace doesn't argue with drama. Way number 2. Zero need to explain. Most people feel the need to explain themselves. They want to be understood. They want to clear things up. Not Sigma males. When they make a choice, they don't explain it. They don't justify it. They simply act and move on. This is because they trust their own thinking. They don't need a group to agree with them. They don't need permission. And they don't fear being misunderstood. If someone doesn't get it, that's fine. The Sigma male won't waste energy trying to convince them. That kind of silence can feel powerful. Because when someone walks away without explaining why, it leaves others confused. But that's not the goal. The Sigma male isn't trying to cause confusion. He's just focused on what matters to him. When others demand answers, Sigma males stay calm. They may offer a short sentence, but they won't go into long talks. They don't owe anyone a breakdown of their life, choices, or silence. That's not pride, it's peace. This behavior often shows up in relationships. When things stop working, the Sigma male doesn't fight to explain every detail. He says what needs to be said. Then he leaves. Not with hate. Not with anger. Just clarity. And that clarity is usually one-sided. Sigma males don't fear being misunderstood. They've accepted that not everyone will get them, and that's okay. They don't care to correct every wrong impression. They care about living in truth, even if that truth is silent. People who crave drama won't understand this. They'll see it as rude, cold, or distant. But to the Sigma male, it's just self-control. It's knowing that you don't owe the world your thoughts, especially if the world isn't listening. They also understand that some people ask for explanations they don't really want. They just want to argue, or to find a way in. Sigma males don't open that door. They keep it closed and locked, because not every question deserves an answer. This doesn't mean they're never honest. It means they're selective. They share with people who've earned it. People who listen, respect, and understand. For everyone else, they say less. And that silence says a lot. That's another way Sigma males prove they don't care. They don't explain, defend, or talk in circles. They speak when it matters. And when it doesn't, they stay quiet. Way number 3. Minimal effort in social media. Social media is where most people go to be seen. They post their meals, their opinions, their emotions. They want likes, shares, comments. They want validation. But Sigma males, they're not interested. They barely post, they don't comment much, and they never care about being seen online. This isn't about being shy. It's about priorities. Sigma males don't need to broadcast their life to feel good about it. They know who they are. They don't need approval from strangers. That's why their social media pages often look quiet, plain, or even empty. Some people think that means they're hiding something. But really they're just focused on real life. If they're building something, they do it without updates. If they're growing, they grow in silence. They don't feel the need to share every win or every loss. When they do post, it's rare. And it's usually for a purpose, not for attention. They might share a thought, an update, or something they care about. But even then, it's brief. They don't post long rants or beg for likes. They also don't scroll for hours. Sigma males know how draining social media can be. The fake smiles, the empty debates, the constant noise, it all adds up. So instead of getting pulled into that world, they limit their time. Or they stay off completely. And when someone tries to get their attention online, they often don't respond. No reaction. No defense. If someone posts something negative, the Sigma male stays silent. Because they don't care to fight on a screen. They don't need to win in the comments. This lack of online presence confuses people. Why doesn't he post? Why doesn't he reply? But to the Sigma male, it's simple. He doesn't care to be seen online. He cares to be focused offline. His time matters more than his image. Some people chase trends. They want to stay relevant. Sigma males let that pass. They're not trying to be liked. They're trying to be real. And social media doesn't often feel real to them. It feels like noise. This doesn't mean they don't use it at all. But when they do, it's with intention. They don't overshare. They don't chase approval. And they don't feel bad when nobody sees their posts, because they weren't looking for a response anyway. That's one more way Sigma males prove they don't care. They don't care about online likes, views, or follows. They care about inner peace. And that peace isn't found in a news feed. Way number 4. Walk away without warning. Most people need closure. They want to explain why they're leaving. They want to say goodbye, have the last word, or tie things up nicely. Not Sigma males. When they're done, they're done. They walk away quietly, without warning, without a scene. This isn't coldness. It's clarity. Sigma males don't believe in dragging out endings. If something no longer serves them, whether it's a person, a place, or a habit, they let it go. No speech. No drama. Just distance. They don't believe in forcing connections. If someone disrespects them, lies to them, or crosses a line, they don't argue about it. They just disappear. Because they know real respect doesn't need to be demanded. It's either there or it's not. When a Sigma male leaves, it's rarely emotional. He doesn't shout or slam doors. He simply stops showing up. He stops replying. He stops feeding energy into something that's already broken. And in that silence, the message is clear. This can be shocking to people who expect a fight. But the Sigma male won't give them that. He knows a quiet exit is more powerful than any loud goodbye. And it protects his peace. He also knows that talking about the same problem over and over doesn't fix it. If someone's behavior doesn't change, the Sigma male doesn't repeat himself. He walks. Because staying too long in a bad situation is a form of self-betrayal. Walking away is one of the strongest signs that a Sigma male truly doesn't care anymore. And it's not about hurting anyone. It's about choosing himself, his peace, his direction. This kind of move isn't done out of anger. It's done from deep thought. He's weighed the pros and cons. He's tried silence, space, or even speaking once. But once he sees that nothing will change, he makes the final move. And he doesn't look back. He doesn't second guess. Because he knows he gave enough. And once that limit is hit, he doesn't beg, plead, or chase. He leaves with dignity, and that makes his silence even louder. Some call it ghosting. But for the Sigma male, it's just moving on. No announcement. No performance. Just a clean break. That's another way he proves he doesn't care. If something crosses the line, he won't argue. He'll leave. And his peace will always come before anyone's opinion. Way number 5. No public opinions. In a world where everyone's always talking, sharing their thoughts, opinions, and hot takes, Sigma males stay quiet. They don't post their views on every topic. They don't argue online. They don't feel the need to be heard by everyone. That silence is another clear sign. They don't care about public approval. Sigma males value their own thoughts. They think deeply, observe quietly, and form strong opinions. But they don't feel the need to share those opinions with the world. Why? Because they understand that most people aren't really listening, they're just waiting to respond. They see the noise, the endless debates, the need to be right, and they step back. Not because they don't have anything to say, but because they choose not to speak where there's no purpose. If they're asked for their view, they might give it, if the question is genuine. But even then, it's brief. Simple. Direct. No preaching. No bragging. Just a calm reply or no reply at all. They also understand that having an opinion doesn't mean you have to announce it. Not everything needs to be public. Not every topic needs their voice. They pick their battles carefully. And most of the time they choose peace over noise. When people argue over politics, trends, or other public issues, the Sigma male listens but doesn't engage. He might think about it later. He might research it on his own. But he doesn't feel the pull to jump into the fight. He also knows that most public opinions come with pressure. If you speak, people expect you to take sides, to defend, to explain. Sigma males don't want that responsibility, not to strangers, not to crowds. Their focus is inward, not outward. They don't want fame for their opinions. They don't want applause. They want freedom. And that freedom includes the right to stay silent. This doesn't mean they're unaware. Sigma males are often very informed. They just don't broadcast what they know. They learn in private. They think in silence. And they share only when it's useful or when someone truly wants to listen. That's another way they prove they don't care. While others are shouting to be heard, the Sigma male is watching, waiting, thinking. And when he speaks, it's rare but powerful. Way number 6. Consistent boundaries. Sigma males have strong boundaries, and they stick to them. These aren't just rules they say out loud. They're quiet lines they draw in their life. And once a line is crossed, they don't get loud. They don't explain. They simply pull back. That's how you know they truly don't care about pleasing people. Most people bend their rules. They say yes when they want to say no. They allow things that bother them just to keep the peace. But Sigma males don't play that game. If something crosses a boundary, they won't tolerate it. And they won't feel guilty for walking away. Their boundaries aren't meant to control others. They're meant to protect their peace. These lines help them stay focused, balanced, and calm. They know what they can allow and what they won't accept. And they make that clear by their actions, not their words. For example, if someone speaks disrespectfully, the Sigma male might not argue. But he'll distance himself. If someone tries to push their opinions on him, he won't fight back. He'll just stop engaging. It's not about winning. It's about not wasting time where he's not respected. This consistency is powerful because people know where they stand. There's no guessing, no games. The Sigma male means what he says, and more importantly, he acts on it. Even in close relationships, he holds the line. Friends, family, partners, no one gets a pass if they cross the line. It doesn't matter how long someone's been in his life. If they drain his peace, they lose access. He doesn't say yes just to avoid conflict. He says no without fear. And he doesn't explain that no. He trusts that people will either respect it or remove themselves. Either way, he's fine. Sigma males also know that setting boundaries isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily act, a quiet choice they make over and over. And each time they make that choice, they prove they're serious. That they don't care to be liked if it means losing their own peace. This kind of self-respect makes them seem distant. But it's not distance, it's discipline. They choose their time, energy, and space with care. And they don't let guilt, pressure, or fear change their mind. They don't talk about boundaries. They live them. People feel it. That quiet strength is clear in every choice they make. And if someone doesn't like it, the Sigma male won't argue. He'll just keep moving. That's the final way Sigma males prove they don't care. They stay consistent, calm, clear. And they never trade peace for approval. Now you've seen the truth. Sigma males don't fake their calm. They don't pretend to be above it all. They simply are. And they prove it every day by the way they move, speak, and think. Quiet, firm, and free from the need to impress. They don't react to drama. They don't explain themselves. They don't beg for attention online. They walk away when something doesn't feel right. They don't share every thought just to be heard. And they never break their own boundaries just to fit in. Each of these actions shows one simple fact. They truly don't care about the noise, the pressure, or the need to please. They care about peace, about purpose, and about staying true to who they are, even if nobody else gets it. That's why people notice them. Not because they're loud, but because they're rare. In a world where everyone's shouting, Sigma males stay silent. While others chase likes, they chase growth. While others argue to be right, they choose to be still. This doesn't make them cold. It makes them focused. They care deeply, just not about the things most people fight over. And when they care, they show it in actions, not words. So if you ever see someone who doesn't flinch under pressure, doesn't argue for attention, and doesn't explain why they walked away, you're likely looking at a Sigma male. And if you're becoming one, or already are, remember this. You don't need to care about everything. You just need to care about what's true. Stay grounded. Stay silent when it counts. Hold your line, and never trade peace for approval. Because proving you don't care isn't about pushing people away. It's about keeping your center strong and never giving it up for anything less than what you truly value.